guys and girls, Miss Docherty here and Buddy. Say hello, Buddy. So today's very exciting as I am going to read you a story. And stories are one of my favourite things. I love reading and I'm always reading every single day. We'll also read lots of stories together when you come to Primary 1. So, who is ready for today's story? I have chosen one of my favourite stories today. And the reason it's one of my favourite stories is because it has one of my favourite animals in it. And this animal is a dog. I love dogs, so I do. However, this is a special dog. It's not just any dog. This story is about a detective dog. I wonder if some of you have maybe read this one before. It's definitely one of my favourites. So, this is a story by Julia Donaldson and Sarah Ogilvie. So these are the authors and illustrators of this story. Okay? The detective dog. So let's get started. I'll move Buddy out the way so you can see. There was once a dog with a keen sense of smell. She was known far and wide as Detective Dog Nell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Time after time, Nell the detective dog solved crime after crime. Who threw hazelnuts down from the trees? Who took the honey away from the bees? Who did the poo on the gravel path? How did the spider get into the bath? Sniff, 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 with a wag of her tail, Nell the detective was hot on the trail. How helpful having a dog like that. Nell shared her house with a person called Peter. A very nice child, though he could have been neater. And 6-year-old Peter was one of those boys who kept on mislaying his clothes and toys. I wonder if any of you do that too. Sniff, 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 nose to the ground. These are the things the detective dog found. The bus in the bowl and the book in the bed. The sock on the sofa, the tumbled down teddy, the bounce away ball. Nell the detective discovered them all. Now Nell did detection from Tuesday till Sunday, but did something totally different each Monday. She found Peter's bag and she tracked down her lead, then set off for school, where she heard the children read. The children loved reading their stories to Nell, and Nell loved to listen, and also to smell. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Mixed in the air, where plasticine custard and newly washed hair. The crusts in the bin and the coats on the hooks, but the best smell of all was the smell of the books. That's one of my favourite smells as well, the smell of a new book. Delicious. There's a busy classroom there, isn't there? Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites, books about princes who turned into frogs, books about dragons and books about dogs. But then came a Monday when all was not well. Nell sniffed the air and she smelled the wrong smell. Wonder what she smelled. Into the classroom the two of them hurried and found Mr. Jones looking terribly worried. He tugged at his hair and let out a sigh. Peter looked around and started to cry. Sniff, sniff, sniff. What was going on? The books, cried Peter. The books have all gone. Oh dear. Nell gave a gribble when she heard the bad news, but then started sniffing searching for clues. Sniff, sniff, sniff on the bookshelf. A cap! The thief must have dropped it, the terrible chap. Nell sniffed the cap and then she tugged on the lid and woof, she was off at an astonishing speed. Oh, I wonder if she's going to find him. Everyone followed Detective Dog Nell. She stopped at the traffic lights. What could she smell? Sniff, sniff, sniff. Haddock and hay. Pizza and penguins. And further away, the smell of the thief. And how very exciting. Thousands of pages all covered in writing. Oh, how exciting. Then woof, they were off, with no time to stop, past the farm and the zoo and the takeaway shop. They raced through a field where the rabbits smelled good, then over a golf course and into a wood. They thrashed through the undergrowth, leafy and dense, till they came to a gate and an old wooden fence. Then Nell started growling and pricked up an ear. Then she barked, and the bark meant the thief is here. She's found him. What a super dog. They flung the gate open and Peter cried, "Look!" For there sat a man with his nose in a book. There were many more books poking out of a sack, and the children yelled, "Those are our books, give them back!" Sniff, 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 the thief looked sad. "I'm sorry," he sniffled. "I know I've been bad. Stealing is wrong, but I just meant to borrow. I was planning to give back all the books tomorrow." Oh, well, that's good he wasn't really a thief after all. Then woof, she was off, and they all sped, including the book thief, who told them, "I'm Ted." Sniff, 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 they raced through the woods and over the field where the rabbits smelled good. They panted and puffed past the takeaway shop, the zoo, the farmyard, with never a stop, except to retrieve Peter's scarf and his ball, which someone had thoughtfully placed on the wall. Till they came to a building with doors open wide, and what did they see when they all went inside? I wonder. Aha! One of my favourite places ever. Thousands of books from the floor to the ceiling. The books gave the thief the most heavenly feeling. He gazed in amazement. "Where am I?" he said. And Peter replied, "In the library, Ted. You can join if you want, there isn't a fee. And then you can take lots of books out for free." Wow, look at all of those books. Wowee. So So Ted has a lovely new library card and he sits reading his books in his little backyard. And when it's a Monday, Detective Dog Nell visits the school with the wonderful smell. Sniff, sniff, sniff with a faraway look. She smells and she listens to book after book. Books about dinosaurs, books about knights, books about planets and meteorites, books about princes who turn into frogs, books about dragons and books about dogs. All the old books and a new one as well. The story of daring Detective Dog Nell. The end. Wow, that is a fantastic story. I really love that one because it's all about books and going to the library. I wonder if any of you boys and girls have been to the library before. I'd be interested to know that. You'll need to let me know if you have. So that was our story today, and I hope you really enjoyed it because I certainly did. And I hope that you tune in again to hear another story from Mrs. Crow and I. Have a lovely day, boys and girls. Bye!